Hello, my name is Ben Gunning. Today I will be talking about the principles of strength and conditioning and how it affects Gaelic football, hockey, and marathon runners. Gaelic football is a very physical sport. It requires a lot of power, mobility, and cardiovascular endurance. I'll be focusing on core training and medicine ball training. Your core influences how you live and what you do every day. Your core has a major effect over your life, from everyday acts like bending down to tying your shoes. Sports activities such as running and jumping are also majorly influenced by your core. Moving on uneven terrain and even your posture is influenced by your core. It is especially important for Gaelic football, as in Ireland especially, pitches can be slippery, uneven, and hard to maneuver on. This is where your core comes in play to keep you balanced and on your feet. Another reason core training is beneficial for Gaelic footballers is due to being able to exert more power. This comes about when athletes train these muscles while also strengthening their hips and back too, reducing the risk of injury occurring and stopping constant compensation from happening. Examples of core exercises are isometric holds like a plank or basic core exercises like Russian twists. These exercises can be done at high tempo to replicate continuous contractions happening throughout your core during a game. Minimal rest is required here doing these exercises, allowing the athlete to get back to sport specific training. Medicine ball training can also be very useful when it comes to Gaelic football. This is due to their many usages, such as power work, rehabilitation, speed training, strength training, core stability, and movement patterns. In terms of power work, complex elastic type movements will be very beneficial for an athlete at a high competitive level. Rehabilitation and movement patterns are other areas where football athletes can focus on, as these can be very beneficial for getting back to basic fundamental movement patterns of Gaelic football. These are especially important after an injury, as athletes learn to recover and master their technique again. Exercises like sprint start throws, normal throws, explosive side throws are also very beneficial for Gaelic football. These exercises are high intensity, low rep exercises, needing plenty of rest as athletes push to get a high perceived rate of exertion. Marathon running is a strenuous and physically demanding activity that requires mental and physical training to compete in. The activity requires cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, and mobility. I will be focusing on bodyweight training and anatomical adaptation for this topic. Bodyweight training is very beneficial for marathon runners. This is due to its traits of developing muscle, helping to improve mobility, and improving cardiovascular endurance. Due to its factors of high rep, low intensity exercise, it is very beneficial for marathon runners. Due to low density of most marathon runners, bodyweight exercises are a great option for strengthening their muscles, as there is less of a risk factor involved when they are just using gravity as a resistance compared to weights like dumbbells and barbells. The nature of accessibility that bodyweight exercises provide is also a major influence on why they're such a great option, as these exercises can be done while out in a jog or out in any environment, keeping them from becoming stale and tedium building up. Exercises like squats and lunges are great examples of bodyweight exercises that can be beneficial to marathon runners, as these can be done without weight in high reps with a slow tempo. Minimal rest is also needed for these exercises, allowing the athlete to get back to more sport specific training. Anatomical adaptation is important for marathon runners, as it is commonplace to run on non-natural surfaces, such as concrete. These surfaces raise the chance of injuries such as shin splints and joint injuries like ankle and knee damage. To counteract this, when bones are repeatedly put under stress, this leads to an increase in bone density and strength. Another example of anatomical adaptation is marathon runners gather mitochondria in their muscles. This helps an athlete to produce more energy from the oxygen they intake. This allows for better oxygen usage, helping marathon runners throughout their marathons. Final sport I'm going to be focusing on is hockey. Hockey is a very physical sport. It requires a lot of power, mobility, and cardiovascular endurance. I'll be focusing on core training and circuit training for this topic. Circuit training is a great method for training for hockey, as it allows for many different pathways to be explored. One such pathway is sport-specific skill. Cardiovascular endurance is another, and muscular strength is a third. These are just a few that can be done, as these areas that I listed are very influential in hockey in their own separate ways. These types of exercises can be done in separate circuits or all done in one circuit. The continuous nature of circuit training is similar to the continuous movement that a hockey player encounters while playing a 60-minute match. They are also a great way to stop the buildup of tedium as there are a large range of exercises. This keeps the athlete excited for the next training session to come. Core training is also important for hockey. Uneven terrain and your posture is influenced by core training. It is especially important in Ireland as pitches can be slippy, uneven, and hard to maneuver on. This is where your core helps keep you balanced and on your feet. Core training also helps with injury prevention and coordination between your upper and lower body. Examples of core training exercises are isometric holds like a plank or basic core exercises like Russian twists. Thank you all for listening. My presentation on the principles of strength and conditioning. I hope you enjoyed.